Hi. Well, I've just done a short Springwalk video about horsetails on Harcourt Hill as a follow-up to one of my earlier videos, and I'm now going to do another short Springwalk video which will be a gallery of buds. I want to catch a few buds in the process of opening before that finishes for the year. I did a video earlier about buds using the magnolia tree in St Barnabas Church in Jericho and some magnolias elsewhere as examples. But there are many other trees coming into bud now, and I would like to show a few of those. And just to say that, as far as I know, there are two types of bud classified by what they give rise to, and these are leaf buds and flower buds. You can also classify buds by where they are on the plant, and you get terminal buds, which are at the end, lateral buds, which are on the side, and then again you can classify in terms of how different buds are arranged relative to one another. So some plants have pairs of buds opposite one another. Some plants have alternating buds where you've got a bud on one side and then a bud on the other side and then a bud on the first side, and so on. And if you look up Introduction to Buds, Flowers and Leaves or something of the sort, you'll get plenty of details. So this is a rather pretty pretty specimen that I found on the side of the main road. With buds in various stages of development. And there's a lot of it, and it's bursting with growth. Now I'm going to walk back to Willow Lane, which has some nice specimens. That's the lane on the other side of the main road that goes from North Hinksey Lane, not too far from the Fish's pub, to Osney Mead. And it's a nice easy walk, and I think shorter than quite a few people think. It's not at all difficult to walk from Osney Mead to North Hinksey and the Fishes. And you'll have seen me walking along it in a video that I did after I did the first horsetails one, because I was walking back and halfway along I heard what sounded like music, but very raw, strident music. And it turned out to be tractor horns from a farmer's protest in New Road, which I eventually found. Well, here's another nice specimen, and it looks as though this is just coming into leaf, having already flowered. So we've got what I suppose were leaf buds here that have already opened, and we must have had flower buds earlier on in the year. And the petals are dropping off as I talk. One or two fell off that stem when I brushed it. This is a very elegant one with alternating buds. One on one side, one on the other side, one on the first side, and so on. Well, let's me get off this road. I'm now at the bottom of Raleigh Park Road, near the underpass, and I'll get onto Willow Lane as quickly as I can to get away from the noise. This is in somebody's front garden, just before the little road that slopes down, and I've always admired the way that you get both the intense green of the leaves and these reds. And the reds look very much like new growth. So here's one that has been cut back pretty fiercely, and you can see it sprouting new growth from the sides. This is a splendid magnolia tree, and it's worth stopping just to admire it. I don't know what that is, but it has loads of fat, sticky buds. This is another one of those red on green plants. The green leaves appear to be variegated. Now I'm on Willow Lane. That's North Hinksey Lane there. The Fishes is in that direction. And that leads to Osney Mead. And I'm standing on an old bridge over Hinksey, I think it's Hinksey Stream or Seacourt Stream. Both names are applicable, and looking at the new growth on a tree that's growing by the bridge. And right at the end, it looks as though this stem is developing into a flower, or possibly several flowers. Can't help thinking that these remind me of vegetable grasshoppers. Oh wow, no, these are splendid. Look at that. These have a lovely and complicated growth pattern, which I can't get close enough to look at in detail. And there, I think we've caught a leaf bud. I probably should say leaves bud, because there must be several right in the act. Here's another smaller one. And here's another. Those are good enough to use as cake decorations. And there's one which has been beheaded, as it were, and which has reacted by throwing a new shoot off to the side. And the plant knows to do that because the beheading changes the arrangement of chemical messengers inside it and says basically, start growing here on the sides where you may only have thought about growing before. These are wonderful. Well, that's the one that I remembered and that I wanted to make sure that I showed, and I now have. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm on Willow Walk between Osney Mead and North Hinksey, and you've probably still got a week or 3 left to explore this sort of thing. See you next time.